Hello and thanks again for joining me for another episode of The Planet Crafter. So, if you have been following the series, this was our main base and it now looks very bare. Spent a bit of time in between episodes clearing all this out. In the last episode we built most of our new base over there. I've added a little bit to it. I moved the T2 biodome over there, and that is now a fully automated factory, and we'll take a tour in a minute. Now, over here, we have progressed quite a little bit while I was doing all that. We're 78% past fish, heading on into amphibians, and things they seem to be slowing down, but I've been unlocking things left, right and center, and I haven't done anything towards terraformation for a few episodes since we did that rocket launch, but we have unlocked a ton of stuff up here. So we unlocked the aquarium. We haven't touched fish yet. We unlocked mutagen T3. We unlocked the circuit boards. So I was planning to, after I'd sorted out the new base, I was planning to, in this episode, go on a trek to hunt down circuit boards. But while I was sorting out the new base, we unlocked it and we're now creating our own. And we can also create our own pulsar quartz, which is very handy indeed. Over in the oxygen tier, we have unlocked this water life collector, which is to do with the fish eggs. So we haven't started on that yet. We were already completed in the heat section and in the pressure section. So now, when I say I haven't done anything towards terraformation, that's if you don't count the ore extractors, because I have replaced quite a few of my T2 ore extractors for the T3, and they do give quite a significant bit extra of pressure and heat. But aside from that, I haven't done anything towards our terraformation. Now I do plan on building a new control center somewhere else. We've got one blueprint chip in there, but we've used up as many as we can. Food, this is all I've got left in here, and our screens. So we will make a new command center somewhere. I'm not sure where we're going to put that at this stage. Can I reach that from up here? Can't. Okay. Still got our beacon up there that was on the roof when we took down the biodome, and it stayed up there, so we have to get that down. But we're going to go take a tour of the new base, which we started building last episode, but now it's a fully automated factory that does pretty much everything, except for the rods. All the rods are produced locally at the mines where the materials are mined. So we're going to cruise on over and take a look. Do have a teleporter over there, but we're going to have a look from the outside first. So we've got an entryway over here that leads up into the biodome, and we've got signs, so we can cruise along through here, and brings us to the front. So we'll go back around the front way. And this one goes up to the same level, so to our bio warehouse. We'll check that out later. Now we've got our drone station. I did move that to make space to put the biodome in. You can see there's drones just sitting up there not doing anything, and I'll show you why in a little moment. So here, this one, we've got our production floor and our main warehouse up through here. I've got a beehive here. We haven't unlocked the T2. This is just a T1. Actually, I will put that on supply. And we've also got our water and our algae underneath there. Over here, we have sulfur, which is being used to make our fertilizers and stuff in the production level, and iron, which is being used to make our circuit boards. Over here are the less commonly used ones. So we've got silicon, we've got titanium, we've got magnesium, and we got cobalt, and they just get taken by the drones into lockers in there if we need them. We do have bioplastic production in there, which does use the silicon, but we don't use a lot of bioplastic, and that's not currently producing any because we're completely full up on that. So let's take a look from the main warehouse. We come in. We got stairs here. I've signposted it all because I was getting lost in my own base. So basically everything's upstairs except for the warehouse here. These are all full. Iron, titanium, silicon, magnesium, cobalt, aluminum, superalloy rods, all full. Iridium rods, all full. Uranium rods, all full. We've got osmium rods, zeolite, pulsar quartz, and then I got overflow lockers. These are just like residual stuff that these are all set to supply. It's just things that I didn't have, that I had excess of. Got a couple of spare lockers. We do have our circuit boards and rocket engines, and I have ice. There's a couple of things that you may want to build that require ice, and ice is hard to find late game. So if you do need ice, I will show you how to produce your own ice. Do have a recycler there, or sorry, not a recycler, a shredder. All right, but let's move on. So everything is upstairs. So we'll go up. This is the production level, which can also be accessed from here. And in here is where we have all our autocrafters. So we've got the fertilizer, we've got the mutagens. Now, interestingly enough, we've unlocked T3 mutagen, but we haven't yet unlocked the T2. So this one here is not doing anything. That is ready for the T2 when we unlock it. Got our bacteria. That one's producing food. That one's producing pulsar quartz. Our circuit boards, our rocket engines, bioplastic, and our fabric. Over here, have our incubator, and I've been sequencing a few silkworms. So if we just grab a fertilizer out of there, and we'll grab a bacteria out of there, shove that in there, put that on research. Now, I've actually put this to supply. So once that's done, it's going to take the silkworm straight over here and shove it in this container. So we've got our silk generators. I've just got a few of them scattered around here for our fabric. And we're probably going to be using fabric in our trade rocket, which we'll get to pretty soon. So our teleporter's here, and I've got food and water at the ready. So as soon as we get back through our teleporter, we can grab something to eat and drink straight away. We've got our handcrafters, and the drone just came and filled that up straight away. Got our handcrafters here. Got a recycler here. And now, in the recycler, you can see it's got a water bottle in there. I've actually got this set to demand water bottles. Right, so the drones will actually come and put a water bottle in here, and I don't want to open it. I just want to hit the button, and that'll turn that into ice. Drone will come along, put another water bottle in there. Ice. Just like that. That's how you get ice late game. And here I have a distribution locker, which is just set to supply everything. So when I teleport in here, if I've got a bunch of stuff in my inventory, I just shove it all in here, and the drones come and they've already taken it and put it where it's supposed to be. So that is our production area, all fully automated. So moving along back here, so upstairs is our bio warehouse. So this is basically all the stuff that's produced from bio. Got all our different vegetables and honey and silk, fabric. And, I haven't unlocked smart fabric yet, but interestingly enough, it is in here to demand. So that is set up ready for it. Over here, we've got all of our stuff ready. So these are all full. The explosive powder I make off-site in the iridium mine. Just had extra food, so I had nowhere else to put it, so I shoved it in there. So that is our bio warehouse. And if we go, all right. So we've got our, this was the other entrance, the first entrance we came into. We've got a couple of ways to go to get up to the rooftop. So we've got our drone station is up here. And you see they're all hanging about. That's because if we go in here, we have 42 drones. And this only fits 25. And because they're not busy at the moment, all of my containers are full, so they're not doing anything. And we're not using anything at the moment. So what happens is when I started producing the circuit boards, I started using one of the autocrafters to autocraft drones, and I just put a demand on here, and we had the autocrafter supplying, and they were all busy collecting all the stuff. And so as soon as one took off, it would get replaced by a fresh one. And now they've all come home and they've got nowhere to go. So they still work. Okay. So through here is our flowers and trees, which you can get to from down where we were, down here. Trees and flowers. And in here we have our DNA sequencer. So I've got flowers here, and I've put the percentage on the lockers. It's going to do the same with trees, but I've been a bit slack on sequencing trees. So I don't have a lot of trees at this moment. I've got the mutagen in here because if we want to do some sequencing, and I'll probably end up setting that up to supply the sequence trees into the lockers. But got space to fit more lockers when we do get more trees and stuff. That's just extra bark, so I did have bark over here, but I had way too much bark, so I had to put in an extra one there. Out here is just the outdoor exit that comes down. Now, up here, onto the rooftop, we've got our farms. So we've got an eggplant, beans, mushrooms, and our squash. We've got gas collectors. So we've got one doing nitrogen. Yeah, I've got these set to supply. That one, yep. And I do have one doing oxygen. We don't use oxygen a lot now. There is one or two things that do require a bit of oxygen, so I do have some being produced. Okay. So now let's go back to the production level where our teleporter is. So yeah, I mean, this is producing everything, or at least everything that we've unlocked so far. Now, all the rods are being done in their respective mining places. So I have changed the aluminum mine here. So I was producing my rods in here. I haven't cleaned all this out yet. The lockers are empty because I just put supply on them. And the drones cleaned them out, but I did have the 2 autocrafters here. So early game, I found rather than trying to do super alloy rods over there in the super alloy cave, I found it was better to have extractors here doing aluminum, and then extractors doing just the normal stuff. This is the edge of the aluminum field. So if you put a miner on this side, or an extractor on this side, it mines all the other stuff, and then you have everything needed to create a super alloy. And so I'd have one autocrafter in here that did super alloy and another one that turned it into rods. But now that we've got the T3s, we've just got the 2 aluminum here, and I have the drones take aluminum over to the alloy cave, and we do rods over there now. So we will cruise on over to the super alloy cave, where I've now got T3 miners in here, and they are getting crafted into rods. I have one of these set to supply to take normal super alloy back to our base, and the other one is not set on supply, so that there's always some here going towards production of the production of our rods. So that position of that's a bit dodgy. I need to sort of jump to get into it. I'll put it down here. Okay. Same with the osmium. So I have 2 T2s mining osmium. I have one set to supply and the other one not. And then we have our rods created here. So the drones only carry one thing at a time. So it's a lot more economical with your drone usage. Like a rod takes, 9 pieces. So rather than the drones carry 9 pieces back to your main factory, turn it into a rod, and then they only carry 1. And another thing you could do, I guess, is you could also, if you needed the raw stuff, is you could just recycle a rod back into 9 pieces back at your base. So let's see. Now I do have zeolite over the zeolite miner over there as well. I haven't set up a teleporter there yet. What else have we got? Uranium. I've still got T2s in there. I haven't upgraded them. But same thing again. I've got an autocrafter in there that turns them into rods. Now, our iridium mine. This has been upgraded with all the T2s. And I've got a few. Let's have a drink. So I've got 4 mining iridium. One of them set to supply iridium, so it gets taken to the just unprocessed iridium gets taken back to the base, but there's still plenty here to make rods. And I've also got one doing sulfur here, So with the T3 miners, or the T3 extractors, you can mine sulfur pretty much anywhere. So I have the explosive powder getting produced here, along with the rods, and then the drones will carry the explosive powder and the rods back to base, rather than have them made in the base. Let's see. So that's pretty much everything. So our old biofactory, I've cleaned this out. I've still got to dismantle it, but I've left it here for now because we've got a few things to explore in this area. There's a couple of bunkers and things around this area to explore. I haven't put a teleporter over there yet by our we've got our butterfly domes and that over there. And I should take out this this miner as well. Don't need that anymore. Let's just do that. Yeah. I don't have a locker in here. You know what? I'm just gonna shove all of this in here. We don't need it. Yep, even the rods. Alrighty. And I have found quite a few pink butterfly larvae around this area, just on these rocks and up on the roof on there. So this is a good spot to look for them. And let me see. The power tower. So this is we've got about 10k power. It's all good. Put the teleporter in here. So this is in the crater. And so if we go upstairs, now I was hoping that the pink and purple from the from these reactors would sort of glow through the windows from a distance. They didn't really, so I put in these lights and set them to try and add a bit to the glow. That still didn't do much. So, but this goes all the way up. It's just the same on every level. But that's our power station, and I think that pretty much covers everything here. So yeah, a bit of a different episode here, more of just a base tour. But in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up our trade station and start doing some trading. But that is going to do it for this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave me a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.